Under colonial education, black children have learned for many years that they should have admiration for the 16th President of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, the great humanitarian, because he freed blacks in America. The question is, did Abraham Lincoln really free our ancestors? Was he truly interested in their human rights when writing the Emancipation Proclamation?
On the first day of January, in the year of our Lord 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free.
One cannot talk about the Emancipation Proclamation without first talking about the event that produced it, the Civil War. It must be understood that the leaders of this cotton slave system dominated the South. Well, the entire nation, really. The White House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, the armed forces, and they made the foreign and domestic policies to keep it all in place. The Northerners founded a party, the Republican Party. This wealth system of the North was more industrial. They won the election, now taking control, and that sought to dominate and control the expansion of white power into the West. Because basically whoever could control this new expansion could control the Union. How could the North, that required their wealth a little differently, how could they accomplish that? Easily, by setting a policy to control whether or not these new territories could have slaves. No slaves would ensure the Union's domination. Allowing slaves could ensure the Confederacy domination. But both sides, the North and the South, brought up constitutional arguments concerning their rights to slavery. But beyond the jargon was two different wealth systems fighting for domination. A family feud. So to say that this war was anything about slavery, as in morally they cared? Again, it was two sides fighting for domination, which led to no other solution than to have an armed battle to the death. And this fight led to the threatening end of slavery. The South was determined to leave the Union and to form their own nation. So why then was the Emancipation Proclamation written? Lincoln's first priority was not enslaved Africans. His first priority was exactly what he stated.
I view the matter, the Emancipation Proclamation, as a practical war measure to be decided upon according to the advantages or disadvantages it may offer to the suppression of the rebellion.
Simply put, it was a strategic war tactic, anything he could do to stop the South from rebelling. Understand that the Emancipation Proclamation did not say that it would free all the slaves. It stated that any slave in rebel territory would be granted freedom. Even still, he couldn't force the Confederacy to follow his orders to free slaves, but it gave blacks a chance to uprise, many of which escaped to fight alongside the Union Army. So those slaves who did gain their freedom, they escaped a very oppressive slave system. They took the risk of being tortured, and they fought for their freedom. But please note, Abe Lincoln was reluctant to arm slaves, to rise up against their masters and sabotage production, in fear that they'd fight an independent struggle, like the blacks in Haiti. But to have a chance at winning this war, they needed the enslaved Africans. But let's look at the Emancipation Proclamation even closer. How can we prove that this document wasn't about the moral need to be just to black people? It stated that it would free slaves only within rebel territory. So who did the Emancipation Proclamation not free? First of all, it didn't free slaves in their own territory. And it didn't free slaves owned by loyal slave owners within the rebel territory that sided with the Union. They were basically granted amnesty from the Emancipation Proclamation. So was Abraham Lincoln personally interested in our human rights? Or was he simply a politician interested in achieving his goal? On August 14, 1862, Abraham Lincoln invited free black ministers to the White House to have a conversation. Oh my God, does that sound familiar?
And I'm just encouraging the black Americans especially, because already there's a move of God. There's more people that are saying, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm not voting for the Republican, but I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Are we still inviting black ministers to help brainwash the rest? Abraham Lincoln did not hesitate to convince them of their inferiority when he candidly said the following.
I will say that I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. That I am not, nor never have been, in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I will say in addition to this that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality, and inasmuch they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior, and I, as much as any other man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race.
We can't say that old Abe never told a lie, but we can say that he was very honest about how he felt about black people. Lincoln did not want an America where blacks and whites were living together.
Contrary to what most people think, Abraham Lincoln's deepest desire was to deport all black people and create an all-white nation.
The colony of Liberia has been in existence for a long time. In a certain sense, it is a success. The old president of Liberia, Roberts, has just been with me. The first time I ever saw him, he says they have within the bounds of that colony between 300,000 and 400,000 people, or more than in some of our old states, such as Rhode Island or Delaware, or in some of our newer states, and less than in some of our larger ones. They are not all American colonists or their descendants. Something less than 12,000 have been sent thither from this country. Many of the original settlers have died, yet, like people elsewhere, their offspring outnumbered those deceased.
Oh wait, there's more.
Our republican system was meant for a homogeneous people. As long as blacks continue to live with the whites, they constitute a threat to the national life. Family life may also collapse, and the increase of mixed breed bastards may someday challenge the supremacy of the white man.
The white people are playing for white genetic survival. And if you don't believe it, listen to their spokespersons. Who are their spokespersons? Nazis, Klan, those are just the outspoken people who are supporting white supremacy. And so they come out and tell you in clear language, but we want to just dismiss them. I say, don't dismiss them. Right. Listen to them. Read what it is that they are saying. They are talking about white genetic survival.
So the Civil War was not fought for slavery, and the Emancipation Proclamation did not free all the slaves, not even half. It was not a moral decision, yet a strategic war tactic to hold together an all-white government ran by white supremacy. And when you understand that, you understand that it was politics as usual.
Hey, Shalom. This is the brother Abaya back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Yeah, as you can see in the video that I had playing in the beginning of this lesson, the Emancipation Proclamation was not what majority of Americans think it was. All right. What they taught us in the schools was Abraham Lincoln wrote up a document as the U.S. president to free all slaves. And they pretty much broke it down like that and left it like that. But see, the problem with believing what your oppressor teaches you, and the Edomites, the so-called white people, they are our oppressors. I don't care how that makes you feel. I don't care what your emotions what state your emotions put you in when you hear that. And let me just address one thing, because she was saying white supremacy is not white supremacy because they're not white. All right. They're a nation of people that lack pigmentation. All right. When you lack pigmentation, you're known as a leper in the scriptures. All right. They're clean leopards. All right. They lack pigmentation, and therefore the blood showeth forth through their skin, which in turn makes them appear different shades of red. All right. That's what goes into Esau. The Hebrew name of Esau, their forefather, Ishashua, wasted away his pigment. All right. He was red. All right. Adawam. Right. Okay. So that means he was red. He was these so-called white people that came from Europe, Great Britain, France, Spain, Belgium, Germany, so forth and so on. They are the biblical Edomites. So it's not white supremacy, it's Edomite supremacy. And she also was saying that calling us Africans. We are not Africans. All right. We are Hebrew Israelites. Okay. If your forefather was a so-called Negro, African American, Jamaican, Haitian, whatever, you make up the Southern Kingdom. All right. You will be known as what would make up Judea. Okay. In the scriptures. All right. You will be known as Jews. Okay. Pertaining to the head tribe of the Southern Kingdom, Judah. Okay. The head tribe of the nation of Israel, Judah. But Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they're known as black people in America. But really, you're a Hebrew Israelite. Okay. You come from one of the tribes of the nation of Israel. So we're not Africans. But, going back to the original point of this lesson, this is what happens when you coons, because that's really what you are. All right. Anybody that accepts the ideologies, the philosophies, the belief systems of America, all right, and believes on it wholeheartedly, you have lost a sense of pride, a sense of honor, a sense of integrity with being and recognizing, all right, who you are. You don't care about your identity. You don't care about your heritage. You don't care about your culture. You don't care about who you are in the eyes of the Lord, your creator. You are so sought out on becoming a part of your oppressive system that you'll believe anything that he says. If you know that your forefathers were brought here on slave ships, right, were subject to slavery and oppression, and then tossed under the education system of that same oppressor, then you have to question the things that you've been taught. Okay? But you see the same psychological patterns being played out even right now to the day. All right? You have these presidents, and you're going to vote for these presidents, which are not of your nation. All right? They're from the nation of Esau. Okay, you got Biden and Trump, Republican, Democrat. America has never been for you Hebrew Israelites. It's been a housing for your enslavement, your oppression, all right? And all it has done is further your rebellion against your creator, and has separated you from the love of your creator. You're chasing the American dream, which America was established by your oppressor, the Edomites, and you're running while you're chasing the American dream. You're running away from your creator and what he intended for you to be and what he wants you to do. First scripture I want to get is over here in the book of Sirach, chapter 12. It's verse 10, straight to the point. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? Contrary to what Christianity, which the Christianity that you black people, you so-called black people, partake in until this day, that Christianity was given to you from your oppressor, the Edomites. All right? When they came from Europe, they brought their Roman Catholicism, their branches of Christianity, and they taught you that, okay, through the churches that they had set up. And they taught you that you don't have no enemy, even though they was whipping your back, raping you, slaughtering you, doing all type of heinous crimes to you, all right, robbing you of everything, your resources, your nationality, your health. Yet they taught you that you don't have an enemy. Well, here the Lord tells you you do have enemies. Only a fool would think he doesn't have an enemy, right? So this scripture teaches us never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So just like iron is due to rust at some point, right? You can trust that your enemy has some wicked plan he's working on. I don't give a damn how many times he smiles when he sees you, how many times Jeff smiles at you at the work on the job, you know? Hey, Tyreek, how's it going? Did you catch the football game? All right, this small talk bullshit that helps people get through being in the same schools and same jobs together. That's why they say don't talk about religion and politics, all right, at these places, because it'll bring out the true beliefs and true intentions and the true separation of the nations, because we don't get along, we don't think alike, except for people that have trimmed their ways to fit into their oppressive society. Matter of fact, let me get that. About trimming our way. What is that in Jeremiah? Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Talking to you tribes. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways, and y'all have trimmed your way. Let's get the etymology of trim. Bear with me 1 second while I look this up. The etymology of trim, let me see. Basically, it goes into cutting off, all right, or putting away, right? So you cut off your ways to adopt the ways of your oppressor, and you see that day in and day out. Going back to working on these jobs, all right. I was talking about this at camp this past Saturday. I remember working at a facility, and they said, we used to have music playing throughout the facility, and they said that we have to play music that appeals to everybody. So when they told us that, the music that they told us we had to play was, or every song that was coming up was Edomite songs, whether it was like a Taylor Swift or a Katy Perry or any of this Edomite pop shit that they like to listen to. It was nothing that Jake vibes with All right, no soul, no R&B, no rap. All right, none of that. But it was supposed to appeal to everybody. No, it was supposed to appeal to the Edomite supremacist society, because that's who's in charge of these companies. That's who run these facilities. All right, and these businesses. So you trim your way to seek love. You conform your way to seek love. All right. You change the way you speak on these jobs. All right. You try to fit in, especially if you high up. The higher you up in society, the more you have to trim your way, because society, I don't give a damn if we in the year 2024, nothing has changed. The Edomites still rule every major infrastructure throughout the world. So for a nigga to think anything has changed, he just lost, because he can get a college degree and work a job. Niggas been able to do that. You had niggas in high positions during the time of plantation slavery. Nothing has changed, man. It's just more niggas are allowed to do that. But you're still a slave. You're still oppressed. You're still under his systems. You still better file your taxes, all right? You still better adhere to his traffic laws, all right? You better adhere to all the laws that he have set up from the foundation of America getting its independence from Britain, okay? And this is so relevant because even until this very day, you'll have a simple Jake come up and say, "Oh, we've been free. We was freed by. We're not a slave no more. We were freed by Abraham Lincoln. We're not free no more. You're able to travel and do this and do that, all right? If you're so free, then set up, get the resources, all right? Go to the government, get the resources, get the land, get the cattle you need to start building your own society, all right? And be independent from America. You're not going to be allowed to do that because you're bound by the laws, restrictions, all right, that they have set forth. You can't do that. And then you still have to go to them for the want of all things, like the curses told us we would have to. They are the lender. We are the borrower. They are the head. We are the tail. All right. If you want any type of loan to start anything, you have to go to them. Right. And because they're in control of every major infrastructure, let's say you want to start farming. Let's say you got the knowledge of how to farm. They can sell you bad seeds. They can sell it to you late so you miss out on the harvesting season. They can do all type of stuff to cause you to not succeed where they don't want you to succeed at, because they're in control of it. All right. They got a whole bunch of secret societies and all these institutions that they have set up, whether it be the fire department, the police department, the farming industry, the banking industry, the military industry. They have secret societies that's been put in place from the foundation of America. That's why this stuff is still relevant to this day. And you as a Hebrew Israelite, you have to know that, hey, I can't be involved, all right, in participating and trying to conform and be one with my oppressors' systems, right? The scriptures tell you this kingdom was only set up for a short while and it's going to be brought down, all right, as we approach the arrival of Yahushua HaMashiach, the return of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's why, matter of fact, I'm going to get that over here in Proverbs, the 11th chapter, right? Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21, right? It says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So though you join hand with these so-called white people, these Edomites, and you believe that there's some good Edomites, which what are you basing good off of? You can't base good off of somebody that gives you gifts or does favors for you. The scriptures say a gift softening the heart, softening the heart. Of course, if somebody gives you a compliment or gives you a gift, that's going to soften your heart if you're a fool, because you trusting in material things. You trusting in face value things. You don't judge a person off of that, man. That's how the devil was able to overcome us in a lot of aspects, because he comes with gifts. He comes with smiles. And then as soon as you turn your back, he stabs you in the neck with a rusty blade, man. You can't judge a person off that and call them good. You judge a person by the ways of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, the order of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. If they were truly a righteous people, they would proclaim us being the Hebrew Israelites, the true children of the Most High, and set us up to be the rulers on the face of the earth. But they don't have it in them because it wasn't put in them. And only the Lord can do that. All right? You're not gonna see Edomites come together and do that, man. Okay? Even the ones that recognize us as Hebrew Israelites, they're recognizing it right now because we're still in the lower state. All right? They don't really want to see us up over them and have them in subjection. All right? There's no such thing as a good Edomite. You can't judge nobody off of them doing carnal favors for you. That's not how it works. But a fool is deceived by those things. Matter of fact, let me go over to James chapter 1. James chapter 1, verse 17. Matter of fact, let me start at verse 16, all right? It says, "Do not err, my beloved brethren. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above." So any gift that you receive on earth is not perfect. It's not good. All right? Unless it's a spiritual gift that comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says every good gift and every perfect gift is from above. If you get a gift from any of these people out here in the world, that has to be tested. All right? And you have to examine the means behind that gift. And if it came in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, or if it came in the spirit of that man just doing it, did it come in the spirit of the world? Because the spirit of the world is adverse to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? It says every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Let's get variableness in the concordance real quick. So the gifts that you get from the Father, there's no variableness. And when you go into that, it means to change. So unlike the gifts you receive from the so-called white man, the Edomites, how many times have they wrote up a treaty? How many times have they wrote up an amendment? They changed. That's what an amendment is, to change. They change their laws. They change the gifts they give. All right? And that verse said what? No shadow of turning, meaning the Lord don't take stuff back. He doesn't, turn things back that he gives out, unless you do something wrong that's worthy of judgment. But you being his seed, the Hebrew Israelites, he always provides a way for you to ultimately, in the end, retain that gift. All right? He never really truly takes it away. He may punish you for a certain period of time, but he's your father. Your oppressor, the Edomites, to give you a gift, but really it's not a gift. It's to one-up you and get over you and to enslave you, all right, and to put you under total subjection and control. So that Emancipation Proclamation, it was looked at as a gift to the slaves, but really it wasn't when you look into the fine linings of it, all right? It wasn't a gift. It was another tool of your destruction, your demise, and it psychologically furthered. It psychologically brought more damage to your spirit, to your mind. All right, it brought more psychological damage to you because you began to trust in your enemy more and more and more, because you're still relying on that simple, foolish spirit of trusting your enemy, trusting somebody who put your forefathers into slavery. A nation that has put you under subjection and still has you under subjection to this day. Right? So I wanted to do a video touching on that. You could never do too many videos touching on this devil's wickedness. It's always a time to expose him because he's the son of perdition. The Lord said he was going to expose him in the last days. So, yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next time I say, Shalom.